Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis, and with me tonight I have Mark and Stu, and we are going to do a Jarvis's Corner panel show. Tonight we were going to mainly cover the preview of the Wolves games. That's tomorrow night. And we will talk a little bit about the Newcastle game because we didn't have the time to cover it. You know, it's Christmas and all, but we will do our best and talk a little bit. And I have some surprises for you. You know, there are some outrageous rumors that we are linked to a British guy who plays for Real Madrid. Came out today, you know, Graham Bailey. So stay tuned if you want to know more about this. And also Ugarte links to Turkey. Closer than well, I don't believe it, but you know, there are some outrageous rumors. There are only 4 days left until the window opens. So tonight we will talk about the tactics. We will cover what Amorim is supposed to do. We'll cover the press conference, so what he said. There are some quotes out, and we will have a debate. So guys, girls, smash the like and subscribe if this is your first time, and we will be back after the intro, so see you in a sec. Boom, 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 and the Tactical Devils are back. Are we going to sing some Christmas carols or?
Christmas? No, because I can't sing. But Merry Christmas to all the Devilish Tacticos and a Happy New Year from me and all my family in our upside down house. But we are getting there slowly. Sorry I couldn't join you on Boxing Day, but it was a.
Well, we didn't have time to do the match reaction, but we did a preview show. You know, that's as good as it gets. But yeah, you know, I totally missed on that one. I thought we were going in a 3-1-3-3 formation, but we didn't. Amorim surprised me, and we played the 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-1-1 formation, or whatever you want to call it. So you know, that's something. And you know, tonight we're going to cover a little bit about the tactics and how we expect Rúben Amorim to set up this team, because we have a lot of injuries and you know, there will be a lot to talk about. But first of all, how are you, Mark? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. I thought we'd done a good job doing the preview. It was quite funny, some of the things that happened in the match that we sort of spoke about, and then it was like, oh shit, oh shit, the tactical things. It was quite funny. But yeah, it's been mad. I'm a bit like you. Obviously, we done the preview. I didn't even do a match reaction to the Newcastle game because everything was going mad. So, you know, it's just one day blends into another at this time of year, doesn't it? You know, kids are off school and like, just Stu, I don't know if you're like this. It's definitely an English thing where you stop for Christmas, but when you hit Christmas Eve, it's like that was the end of the year, because the days that follow, it's just all one long one day. It just feels like that's it.
It's a blur. Nobody knows where we are. Nobody knows what time. I was trying to get the Christmas tree down the other day, and I got shot for that. So you know,
mine's coming down Monday, probably.
The end.
No, Friday. See, that's what I mean. Monday. Friday. No, Friday is the first working day. So
I'm not taking it down. I'm not doing it. I'm keeping it at least until the 12th of January.
What you have like 50? Yeah. Actually, in all fairness, I love Christmas. But Christmas is 12 days, so 6 days before, 6 days after. So I always say to the girls, got to go up on the 19th. Has to go up on the 19th. Never happens, by the way. It always goes up earlier. But 6 before, 6 after, those are 12 days of Christmas. Everybody thinks it's 24 fucking days. 12 days.
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. Doesn't Christmas start the day after Halloween?
Yeah, I think it's well, no, Guy Fawkes night. Then it starts.
It's mental. Like, but what's even worse than Christmas is Easter eggs in the shop on Boxing Day.
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible.
Yeah. I will still grab a cabbage cream egg.
Yeah. Anyway, I've had a great time, which is the main thing as well. Enjoyed the Newcastle game for half of it. Hated the second half, but I've had time to think and reconsider my thoughts on that one. So
Yeah, I haven't heard your opinions on the Newcastle game. Okay, we spoke in the group chat and stuff like that, but you know, Stu, feel free if you wanna give a quick review of how you saw the game. And by the way, just as a reminder, I will show this is the 11 that Rúben Amorim finished the game with. We had Dorgu, Zirkzee, and Dallo, Fletcher, Ugarte, Cunha, Malacia, Fredrickson, Heaven, Yoro, and Lamens. Not the strongest team.
it was
Did the job.
By a miracle, we pulled it away. We pulled it away by a miracle.
It was the old proverb, tale of two halves, wasn't it? Brilliant in the first half, super frustrating in the second half. And I was watching the game unfold, and I never thought Newcastle were ever going to score, as it happens. I thought the best player on the pitch was Lewis Hall by a fucking country mile. I mean, he was better than any other player on the pitch. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. I almost wrote to you guys and said, if we don't buy Lewis Hall in January or the summer, because he is the perfect left wing back. I mean, he was just brilliant all game. I thought Miley was good on the right side, but I thought Lewis Hall was one of the best performances I've seen at Old Trafford in a long, long, long time. So I was really pleased with that. But I was ultra pleased with the way that Martinez came in, captained the side, took the responsibility, played very, very well. Aiden Heaven, deserved man of the match from a Manchester United standpoint. Again, streets ahead of anybody else on that pitch. And then I started to get hugely frustrated with the way that the game was unfolding. I thought Dorgu was superb in the first half, and then we shackled him. All of a sudden, we decided to shackle Dorgu. And when he played on the right, we've been wondering what he was like on the right. All three of us, we've spoken about it before.
Yeah.
Wondered what it would be like, and he demonstrated an ability that I hadn't seen, Dorgu show and demonstrate. So I was pleased with that. Yoro, I thought, did okay. I didn't think he had a bad time at all.
No,
I'm going to give Lamens a lot of credit. I thought second half in particular, he was the one constant in an ever-changing swirl of God only knows what was going through Amorim's mind, was my thought at the time. And I started to think about what he was thinking, Mason Mount not coming out in the second half. He already knew that De Ligt wasn't coming anywhere, wouldn't be here playing tomorrow. He knew that Maguire wasn't going to be playing tomorrow. He knew that Mainu wasn't going to be playing tomorrow. And his thought process must have been, what the fuck am I going to do here? Because if I get one more injury, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I understood the Tyler Fletcher introduction. Not bad. Difficult game for the kid. I mean, but I didn't think he did anything particularly wrong. I don't think he did anything particularly great.
Well, I felt he wasn't noticeable, and that's a compliment.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And I agree with you on that one. I do. That's what I do agree with you. And he wasn't noticeable. And you're absolutely right. And we all of a sudden, as we were getting absolutely battered, and we've all been in teams where you've been battered, and actually always one or two players disintegrate during a battering. It's just standard. I didn't see one player roll over and disintegrate. We were clever in periods of the game. Dorgu in particular going down, holding his face 4 times. I think he got the ball in the face once out of those 4 times. I thought that was different to what we'd seen before. And I thought Amorim bringing off Martinez and bringing off Shaw, that to me, at the time, I was like, what the fuck? I was pacing around the fucking room.
I thought, oh my God, it's tactical suicide here. I knew what he was risking, but
my missus was going, what are you doing? And of course, I realised if we were just to pick up a Martinez injury, or a Shaw injury, we've got nowhere to go. So as much as I was absolutely livid at that particular hopping mad, and we were all saying it'll be a miracle if we survive this game, etc., etc., etc. It was interesting to see the maturity of a group of players I'd not seen in a long time. I thought when Fredrickson came on, nothing changed at the back because we were getting pummeled. So, hey, it is what it is. But I thought he did okay. And I thought Lamans demonstrated in that second half period what it is to be a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
The way he came and he claimed and he calmed everybody down. So Newcastle might go away thinking, we haven't scored. I don't recall many clear-cut chances.
He made one save and then they hit the bar where Hall hit
right.
the bar. There was nothing really for the whole game.
No. And when you look at the team that Newcastle started out with, you look at the substitutions that Newcastle did midway through the second half, look at our substitutions. I'm not saying we turned a corner, guys. I'm not. And I was livid. And these guys will tell you, I went in on Amorim on our group chat, and I've never done that before, but I did. I went in on him, and I couldn't believe it. And it's only when I took a step back and I thought about stuff, I don't think he had any option, really. And I'd be interested to see when we're doing the Wolves preview, what team we pick or we try to agree upon, because I don't know where we're going to come down on that one. And the other thing I was really chuffed about is that he didn't just play one formation. He tried 3 or 4 during the game at various points in time to try and alleviate.
But Stu, I felt that like he had given some of the players freedom to roam and actually be in between players. Like, for example, Ugarte, I felt, Mason Mount. We could clearly see Ugarte all the time, going wide on the left-hand side in the midfield. I was sitting there like scratching my head and thinking, what are we doing? Are we playing in 4-4-2? Are we playing in? I couldn't quite, grasp what we were doing. It was so hard, but it worked. And I felt that a lot of these players came good, when they had this freedom, this little bit of freedom, and maybe because it is strange, I'm on thin ice saying this, but maybe Amorim was forced to do this, and I felt all the subs at the end of the game was almost like, in spite of us being in the lead of the game, I think Amorim was almost proven wrong when he played the 4-4-2 formation from his point of view, because he don't want it. In a way, but we succeeded. If you know what I'm getting at.
I thought
you said this a lot. You said there's multiple. There's only so many formations.
Yeah,
we saw a 4-4-2, but we know we train in a 4-4-2 for certain situations defensively. So all we're asking for them to stay in that formation. We know we train in a 5-4-1, and we're asking you to stay in that for a certain situation. And I said in the preview, it was like we're playing a different formation depending on almost which quarter or third of the pitch we're in at the time.
Correct.
And it's really interesting. Everyone's picked up on this Ugarte Mount thing where they were sort of fluid. One's going out and one's coming in. But of course, they're both central midfielders. So neither of them are a left-sided winger for that 4-4-2. And it was like 4 at the back, left back, right back, centre backs, normal. And then we had a right winger, 2 holding midfielders, and an inverted left winger. But he just had to go outside. But they didn't push down the left until the second. Down our left or their right until the second.
Yeah, but we didn't attack on the left-hand side. We had 2 left-footed centre back who played the ball up to Dorgu. So we played through our right-hand side.
That was the point I wanted to make, because
we moved our team over, so we were very right-hand sided.
We were lopsided.
We might have been lopsided if we attacked down the left. You see what I mean? It might have been inverting the winger in to make the third man in midfield. If we attacked down the left,
that was the genius about it. The genius about what he was trying to do was that he made us lopsided. And Eddie Howe's like looking at it, And look, whether or not they changed formation after the fucking Ramsdale injury, who knows? But
They went
Eddie
man
Howe's
for
looking
man.
at
It was that obvious. It was
Yeah.
obvious on the pitch. They
Yeah.
went man for man.
Eddie Howe's looking at it thinking, what the fuck do I do here? I've got no formation that's going to stop that. So I agree. They had to go man for man. And he was banking on, and I don't want to paraphrase Gary Neville here, but he was banking on them being better individually than we were. And actually, they weren't. So when you know this, guys, when you go man for man, if you lose your battle, you're fucked. And we were fucked. And whether we like it or not, guys, we shut up Anthony Gordon. He did fuck all game.
Yeah, he's been hit or miss all year.
Yes,
That's why he's been out.
We all love Toney, don't we? We all love him. He had no effect on the game. We all love him.
This is what we were saying in the preview. Toney, because I said Joel Linton wouldn't start. Literally for that midfield three. And I said, if we can't pin them back, we're in trouble because they'll run us. And we did. They didn't. They couldn't do anything.
Guimaraes had a bit more room in the second half. What do I do? Didn't know what to do. It was massively interesting. So we don't like, the Amorim thing isn't going to change overnight. It's going to take a long, long time for people to either appreciate Amorim or still not appreciate him. Mm-hmm. Whether we were forced into it, we weren't forced into it. Amorim's come out and said today, look, I was never going to change it while you guys are on my case. And he says it's always been the plan to change it. Look, that's all rhetoric. That's what managers say, etc., etc., etc.
But I wanted to touch on this, Stu. This is what I was getting at. He trains multiple formations and gets different formations. So Tyler Fredrickson coming in, first game of the season, hasn't played since well before I think the semi-finals of Europa. I think he stopped playing. It might have been the quarterfinals.
Played in February, I think.
Yeah, so almost a one calendar year. Yeah, so 10 months, and he fits in nicely because we train against that. When we try a different formation, he's going to set the other 11 up in a 5-man or 4-man defense. So when push comes to shove, you do know what to do because this is what at the end of the day, you got to stand here, you got to defend, kick the ball back up the other end of the pitch.
That's it, yeah.
And it was quite obvious how glued these players were, but they've been second string coming back. You've got Euro constantly in and out the team, so he's probably been second string, hasn't he? Like defending against the first string defence. Martinez when he got back on the grass. Fredrickson, Dorgu got dropped. Maybe Dallo not so much, but a lot of these are playing together. Heaven against the starting 11. So they actually play together a lot.
But the thing about it is that we've, and I said it for years, haven't I, Jarvis? You've heard me. When Ten Hag was here, when fucking Ollie was here, when Amorim's, we keep playing the same fucking way. Just try something different. And the man forced into it, by the way. Let's be honest. Let's not kid about it now. He was forced into this change. Let's try something different over the last couple of weeks, and it started to work. Now, when you've got when you shackle Guimaraes, when you shackle Toney, Joe Linton was shite when he came on, couldn't do anything. Wissa, I did Wissa touch the ball. We were a different team. As much as I was pissed off during that game, we were a different team. So my take on it is, hats off to Amorim, whether we like it or not. We didn't think we would come away with a victory against Newcastle, and we did. And we should have done better against Villa, and we didn't. See, Villa did to us what they did to Chelsea, or they did to Chelsea what they did to us. Villa are on a different planet to us now. So we just need to take these small...
They're riding their luck as far as it can take them, and good luck to them.
Good luck to them. So we just need to take these small wins. As it happened, nothing really happened over the weekend that moved us. I think we're 7th, aren't we?
6.
Joint 6.
We will have a look at the table, but first of all, you mentioned a lot of things now, Stu, but you mentioned Amorim's comments on the on today's press conference, because the Newcastle game, it could be one-off. As I said in the description of this show, it's It's all about gaining momentum now, getting our second win now, and then we have Leeds coming up. Maybe we can go 3 in a row again, and we talked about it. Can we be top 4 at halfway? And now we are at the end of the year. If we win tomorrow, we could sit equal points with Chelsea at 4th. So we are, in a good place. But Amorim's comments that came out, it was Amorim on changing his system to a back 4. It's not because of the pressure from you guys or the fans. You guys are the journalists. It's because now we understand the way we want to play and the principles are the same. This comment, I can't quite grasp my head around it, because what is Amorim meaning by saying the principles are the same?
So
can someone explain it to me?
For a while, I've been saying this for a while. If you can't teach number 1, you can't move on to number 2, 3, 4. So the principles are: we defend in this shape. So whether it's, like we said, if we've got a 4-4-2 defensive shape, this is where I want you. And then, as you said, when we attacked, it seemed like Mount inverted back into his normal 10. So I think, Stu, the other week you were saying how we were getting to 4 at the back when we set up as a 3. Euro would drag out to the right and Dallo was dropping back in. It looked like we were playing a back 4. Well, that's how you should play as a 5 at the back. It shouldn't necessarily be a solid 5. It should be a 4, because you should be gaining the extra man from the wing back going in with the midfielders on the side for the ball is. So it's that swing. Stu, you've spoken about this a lot, the horseshoe. You have your 3 at the back, you've got your 2 wingers. Well, if one winger attacks, the other one sits. The midfield move across, you can either invert in. Do we underlap? Do we overlap? It's these little tweaks. What's worrying is how much better we looked in the first half to the second half, because in the second half, as you said, he went back to type.
He did go back to type. Yeah, he did.
So that worried me, because there was a lot of things. So when he's saying you guys put the pressure on, he is right in a sense, but the way the British media works, it wouldn't be in Italy. It'd be great tactical change. He's changed the formation. He's playing the best formation for the players. They understand it. The media are going to come for you in going, you're weak. You're not good enough for Manchester United. You gave into our pressure. But if you don't give into our pressure, you're stubborn. You're not good enough for Man United. So he couldn't win either way. And I like the fact he called out the press, because they've been saying it. But over the last couple of games, over the last couple of shows we've done, we've noticed these slight tweaks. We've noticed the formational change throughout the game. So you can only play formations with the right certain players in those formations. I thought our midfield was almost perfectly balanced in the first half. We'll talk about the first half if we're going to talk about what we saw and what he changed. You can't really talk about the second half because it was a shit show. But we didn't have Bruno in there. We had 2 solid central midfielders, not a number 10. But we could have had Bruno in doing that Mount job. We definitely could have had that. That would have worked.
But the thing is, when I saw this, it's not the same principles. We had an outlet in Dorgu all the time on the right hand side, and we talked about we were lopsided, and for me that's not the same principle. We are not setting up in diamonds. We are not. So for me, from a footballing point of view, I don't get these comments. I don't understand what they mean when they say the principles are the same, because for me, the principles are not the same when they play the way we do right now. It's not.
His use of the word principles isn't quite correct. You're absolutely
maybe it's lost in translation or something.
It's a very vague word, isn't it? Principles.
Yeah, and what Mark was saying.
You're talking about attacking principles. He might be talking about defensive principles.
Yeah.
It could be.
When I talk about principles, I try to talk about the principles of football as a whole, as a singular. Okay. But I agree with Mark. With the way that you set up when you're coaching or when you're talking about football, and the way you set it up, whether you play a 4-4-2, 4-3-2-1, whichever, it doesn't really matter. You have your ideals, and I think that's more what he's talking about rather than principles. It's ideals. on how you want it to transpire, what you want to happen during the game, how you want the game to evolve. So I think he's lost in translation there slightly.
It could be. You are probably right, but the rest of the quote is yeah. But the rest of the quote is we can change system, and I think we are going to become a better team, because when all of the players return, we are not going to play all the time with the back three. We are going to improve. So yeah, he's sort of what's it called? Proclaiming that he's going to be more flexible when it comes to the system.
Talking about flexibility,
and how he says it, it's about him not caving in for the journalists and us fans, but he's doing it because he feels it's time. So
the most important it's a way of part here, where he says he doesn't want the players to think he's caved. That's the most important quote out of the whole few paragraphs.
Yeah, but if you read the last part, if you read it out, Mark, what are you seeing when you?
But when you talked previously about changing the system all the time, I cannot change because the players will understand that I'm changing because of you, and I think that this, the end of the manager. That this is the end of the manager.
Yeah, but he's worried about the players, how they perceive him.
He's talking about social media. He's talking about what people see and perceive through social media and things like that. He's spoken about it quite a lot, where if everyone's saying, do this, do this, do this, and then the manager goes and does it, has the manager done it, or has he been persuaded by player power, people power, press power? I think he can't win with this comment. Because it's easy to flip it either way. But as a footballer, I see it going, no, you're right. If you had just flipped, as soon as the pressure said to you 2-3 weeks in a row, going, you got to change, and you come out and you've changed it, actually done it so cleverly that even Sky Sports done a thing going, oh, Martinez must be playing left-sided centre-back, and right-sided centre-back, because Luke Shaw will play left-sided centre-back. And they even set it up in a 3-4-3 on their system. They didn't have a clue. So actually, he's won hands down.
He has, yeah.
So he's done the right thing. And he's right. We need to suffer. You guys need to do this. And what I will do, I am going to start playing the players who can play this fucking formation how I want it to be played. Because Lamens has come in now, and he makes you feel calm as a defender. 100% I can see it. The calmness in that back line for so young. You've got a goalkeeper behind. Oh, lads, I've got you. Don't worry. If you make a mistake, I'll save it. That's the kind of essence he gives off. You got Martinez back. We're talking about a spine. Chat. Him and Heaven, absolutely superb together. But Heaven sort of needs someone to hold his hand because he's still young, And then you go into midfield. Casemiro's English, I've only recently found out from watching Rio, has got so much better. And he's by far our player of the season. People talking about the stats from Bruno. It's because Casemiro's got his Real Madrid days back. He's having a second wind, To quote Jamie Carragher, football has not left him. So he does not need to leave football, And then up front, I thought, hang on, Sesko's putting in a proper shift. So straight down the middle, we are able to actually do something on the pitch because they were being disciplined. They were playing central. They were going up and down together. And that's a principle. If you do as I say, then we can do other things. But until you get that right, I can't trust you to give you a free license on the left. I can't trust you, Dorgu, to come over on the left where we signed you from Lecce as a right-sided winger. And I'll tell you what, it was what someone had done a body swap with him, wasn't it? He was superb. Like the volley is a bit of luck, he does that sometimes.
It's football, though, isn't it? And I always say this when it comes to football. You can listen, you can learn. I mean, I'm still learning the game now. Even when I take the pitch on a weekend, I'm still learning the game. I make errors. I know they're my errors, and I try and atone for those errors. But our players in the past haven't done that. They haven't wanted to, or just haven't been bothered. they were against Newcastle. They were, whether we like it or not, whether people like Amorim or they don't. We survived that game of football. We wouldn't have
They
done
played
that.
for their place. They
We
played
wouldn't.
for their
Yeah,
place.
we wouldn't have survived that game of football last season.
No.
Chance. It just would not have happened. So you got to give him a little bit of credit, Amorim. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm really interested in that because I think Wolves are playing some decent stuff at the minute. They're going to be hard to beat.
They are.
They're not a bad side. And then we're going to have more problems against Leeds because Leeds haven't lost in 4 games.
Leeds are doing bits right now. They're doing bits.
Well,
Calvert-Lewin, scoring goals.
Yeah.
All the time. It's on a purple patch.
We said to get Calvert-Lewin as a backup striker on a free transfer, and everyone was laughing at us. And at the moment, he's banging in goals in the Premier League. He's found a bit of form.
5, man. It's 5.
Yeah,
5
as many as in Burma.
Yeah.
He's doing well. We have been gifted 10 Devils membership from Rushmano. Thank you so much for the Christmas gift, Rushmano. You are a legend. Let me play you a jingle and Stu will read them out.
I will hide behind the jingle.
2 seconds. Where's the jingle? I'm getting rusty. It's been a couple of days.
You are getting rusty.
Yeah. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Here we go.
Well, Rushmano, you absolute legend. I still can't find my shades, but as soon as I do, they'll be ready to go. We have United. BT has received a membership.
Yes.
Crisco 9129. Josh TV7. Neil Driscoll.
Josh TV.
Got one. The Vitator has got one. Well done, the Vitator. Tom Porter, Volps. Ed the Mercenary and Dave 147 plus Abs Yemenil. Big up all, and Rushmano, you absolute legend. I know everybody is delighted to receive those memberships. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year,
yeah, big one. It means a hell of a lot to the channel. The super chats, the memberships, it all goes to keeping us on the air. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the big donation, Rushmano. You are a legend. Thank you so much. Yes, let's go into the preview now and talk a little bit about Wolves. And I put together a team. I always set up the tactical board. It's a difficult one. I don't know if you even can read. There's something going on with the tactical board. It's not even, but. I have Lamanis in goal, Dallo right back, Heaven, Martinez, and Luke Shaw. So the regular back four, if we can say so. Casemiro in the 6. We have Ugarte and Zirkzee predicted is in the 10s or whatever you want to call it, and Cunha and Dogu on one each side, and Sesko as the number 9. So do we have any other options? We have Shay Lacey on the bench, we have Lenny Yoro on the bench, we have Malacia on the bench, and most likely Jack Fletcher.
Zirkzee will not play.
Okay.
I'm telling you that now. He was an absolute disgrace, and there's been enough said for apparently the managers even called him out over it. The way he came on, I can't see Zirkzee playing at all. And I'll wait for the chat to start saying it. He came on, he didn't run, he didn't do anything with the ball. He was more lethargic for a guy with 2 broken legs. So I generally, I know we're looking at, God, it's horrible. That list of Reds on to the left, all those players out.
That's players who are not available. De Ligt, Mbumo, Mount, Ahmad, Maguire, Mainu, Bruno, Masraoui. Mount, as someone said in the chat,
we've got a small chance.
Small chance, but I don't think we will risk it right now.
It didn't sound like he had a small chat when I was listening to the press conference. It was quite. He won't be. He said he won't be there. Mainu won't be there. Bruno's trying to tell me you can train. I think you're 19, Zirkzee out, and I think potentially
Are we talking about Shay Lacey, Jack Fletcher?
You got to put Jack Fletcher in. It's the only.
I think you see Obi on the bench. I think Zirkzee's dropped, and I think Obi comes on the bench.
Okay, so you see Obi is getting reinstated into the team. He's not scoring.
And you got to understand that's one hell of a call because he called him out. You know, so
okay.
Let's have a look.
So you want to play like Obi in the 9 and Sesko in the 10, or
no? I don't think
more
Obi
like
will start. I just don't know what he'll do because
all right.
that Fletcher is a holding midfielder. So you wouldn't have Ugarte and Casemiro and Fletcher unless you went 4-3-3 and he tried a totally different formation again. Because then you could play Sesko left, Cunha through the middle, and Shay Lacey on the right. But Shay Lacey, what did he get? 15 minutes? That's about it, wasn't it?
Yeah. But he can play in the 10. I see him as a 10, but maybe it's too big of an ask to give a young player like him his debut on Old Trafford coming in and playing in a position he's not familiar with.
No, and if he have, I don't like Wolves are bottom of the league. That's the thing. You can shoot. I know what you're saying. They've had a bit of a recurrence recently, but they've still lost every game.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works again. He goes 3 at the back tomorrow night.
Seems the most obvious choice to
and he moves Martinez into the middle. That's what he'll do. It's the only thing he can do. That just isn't balanced.
Okay, so we.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're all left-footed. That's 3 centre backs. Left-footed.
What are we playing? Euro and Martinez in something like this, then? Have Martinez, Casemiro, and Ugarte?
You could have, yeah. I mean, you could have that. Yes, I didn't think of bringing Euro in actually and playing 4 at the back. You could do that, absolutely no problem. But I think Euro will play. Yeah, Shaw will play left back. Dallo. So a quick look at what we've got. And
let's say we have on the bench Obi, Zirkzee, Jack Fletcher, Shay Lacey, Tyler Fredrickson, and Malacia. As far as I know.
Well, look, Obi won't start. Shay Lacey won't start. Fredrickson won't start. Malacia won't start. The only 2 that have got a chance of starting are both Zirkzee and Jack Fletcher. I'm with Mark, by the way. I don't think Zirkzee will play. I think he's going in January. I think he knows he's going in January, and I think it's a done deal. I think he's off to Roma. He might not want to risk.
That's the risk. You know, the window opens in 4 days. We have a loan deal with Roma. It's an obligation to buy 25 million, and you know we want that money, and also we will save money on Zirkzee's salary for the remainder of the season, and it will probably open up a window for bringing in another player. And we have been strongly linked to Gallagher. You know, if we can. There were some rumors today that he are actually going to try to start forcing a move at Atletico Madrid. Yeah. So he had a talk with Simeone, according to Graham Bailey.
But to lose a striker and bring in a defensive midfielder, that's as lopsided as our formation against Newcastle. So
I mean, it isn't good. It's not a great starting 11, but I can't see any.
So subs against Newcastle. Our subs.
Yeah,
we had Shay Lacey.
Yeah,
Mantaro, who is another who could play right wing back, and he's another right-sided player. Tyler Fredrickson, Lenny Euro, Tyler Fletcher, Malacia, and Zirkzee. So Zirkzee, the only first choice player. Like the rest, Bindeer, second, third choice goalkeeper, however you want to look at it. Most people would say Heaton's in front of him, right? But then you had Malacia, Fletcher, Fredrickson, Mantaro, and Lacey. Oh, sorry, I missed Lenny Euro. He's obviously a first-team player, but not necessarily. So out of all of them, none of them were attacking players who really step in and command the spot. They're good at the moment. They need minutes. But, you know, I've said it before that Mantaro, I think, is a great athletic wide right player, but
we can't trust him. We can't trust him to play.
And you can't trust Shay Lacey. I tell you what, I knew Shay Lacey was small, but when he came on against the Premier League players, I was like, fucking hell, he's half the height size of them. He was at least a foot shorter than a lot of the players out on the pitch. And and of course he's not filled out properly yet. So
yeah,
something
tells me he'll go through at the back. I don't know why. I think he'll do 3 at the back.
Yeah, I'm in agreement, Jarvis. The way I see it, you'd have a back 3 of left-sided Shaw, Heaven in the middle, right-sided Martinez. Martinez won't be dropped or moved out from that.
No, he won't be dropped. No.
You'll have Dalot left wing back, and I think Dorgu stays as right wing back because of how well he played out there. I think it's worth, you wouldn't change him back to the other side. I know he did, Stu, but it didn't work, did it?
No, he won't. But he'll start him out at right wing back, yeah, for sure.
You know.
Okay, so you start. So what do you do with Dalot?
Oh, Dalot will go to left. I think Euro comes out the team.
Yeah. No, Euro comes out.
All right.
Martinez won't play in the middle because Heaven's done his job in there. You can't move Heaven out. He's destroying from the middle. And then you have Casemiro and Ugarte, and then you have Cunha, Sesko, and one other.
Yeah.
This is why
we're going with this.
I think Zirkzee may just come in.
But the way he didn't run around, like you would start him so you could pull him off because you certainly wouldn't put him on as a sub again.
You're on about choices. That's where we are.
Do you know what I mean, Stu? You have to start him and drag him off if he's not putting in the effort, and be like, you will not go on loan if you fucking piss around on this pitch.
We're on a choices problem here. That's our issue. We've got 0 choices. I don't like that team either, to be honest. I don't like it at all. But I think it's probably the best.
I think we need to play Euro. He's the only first-team player. And if Zirkzee is not playing, and basically move Martinez up in the midfield. That's the only solution I see right now.
You're not going to play Ugarte in an 8. So again, then you go. If you're going to do that, you've got to do that and go 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1.
We haven't got the balance to do that either. You can't do 4-4-2 with this situation. The only thing is, if you remove Zirkzee, you've got 2 attacking options. That's it.
Yeah, I would play 4-4-2 and put Zirkzee up front with Sesko because then if he doesn't work, I've still got 1 striker.
Yeah, you could add.
Okay, so we go with. All right. So you will have Dorgu, Casemiro, Ugarte, and Cunha in the midfield 4 behind Zirkzee and Sesko.
And then Dalot goes right back.
And then Dalot just goes over to right back.
Dalot goes right and Luke Shaw on the left.
And can I just point out that's 3 left-footed defenders.
Yeah.
Well, most people struggle to get a left back.
Yeah, we could do that. I think that's our strongest 11. Unfortunately,
we have passing lanes over here, so the passing lane will be Dorgu. He will be the out.
Dorgu will be the outlet, yeah.
And that's one of the main reasons.
And Cunha. They'll use Cunha as an outlet, but it'll be mainly Dorgu.
Yeah, don't forget you've got a left-footed Shaw, and that's only bending it down the side for him to run on because he would run inside of the players.
Yeah.
He runs inside. You play the ball outside, and you meet it on the run. You just don't play to deep. Which is sort of what we were doing. We were running in behind in the first half. It was either ball carried and cut inside, and then the ball played back out wide. But he might surprise us. You know,
Zirkzee can drop in, can't he? And put 5 in the middle if need be, if we're getting overrun by the Wolves. But
and that's where you could, by putting him up top and him dropping down, is better than dropping him down in that sort of in between half space between a strike, you know, the 9.5 playing as he does, and then he's in no man's land helping anyone. So
I think that's all he can do. I don't think we've got any other options. Because he won't start Jack Fletcher, he won't start him, but he could bring him on. But there's no way he'll start him. I don't think he might do. He could start Fletcher, but big risk. Big risk.
I have to say, I'm with Rushmano. I think we might start Shay Lacey in the 10.
Based on what?
No.
He's
Well,
on 15 minutes and 5 minutes.
if we go with the 4-4-2, well, the problem is Shay, Lacey, and Dorgu is at the same position basically. So I don't know how we will do it. Maybe
Shay
we will
Lacey
play
does not
with
play
two
as a
players
striker
on the
or a
right.
10.
Let's say if we play with Shay Lacey, we could play something like this. And Shay Lacey always, Ugarte, Dorgu likes to go in inverted, and Shay Lacey can go on the outside. So we
Well,
will
this is where
attack.
you could play a 4-3-3. But if you bring Shay Lacey and you play 4-3-3, but then that's another formation and you're guessing again. You could, because a 4-3-3, Shay Lacey is a wide right forward and gets the ball in the box. So is Mantaro, who didn't get on. Cunha can definitely play wide left, but I would actually play him through the middle and let Sesko play wide left.
Why would you risk it? Why would you risk playing Shay Lacey?
Exactly, Stu. Mate, this is the experience, I think, of playing over just watching sometimes. It doesn't make sense because he hasn't done anything when he's come on, apart from just run around and be a busy bee.
I agree, he'll come on, he'll play 15, 20 minutes maybe, but I wouldn't start him.
But that's why I would potentially start Obi. I would. Like, go on then. Here's your chance. Fucking, I'm putting all my money on 0-0 on the roulette table because we ain't got any left. I need two up front. Go up front with Sesko. He'll play you in. You just stick
could we play Lacey on the right?
I don't see it. I don't. I've not seen anything of him to warrant a start with the time he's been on. I don't see it. There's no reason.
Well, he's a dribbler, and he can add something to the team. And if he has the right confidence coming into a fully packed Old Trafford, we are up against Wolves, the worst team in the Premier League. They have the third longest losing streak in the whole history of Premier League by now. They are about to sack the manager.
Jarvis, they're only losing by 1 goal.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not getting hammered anymore, are they? He's doing all right. I don't see it. No, I don't see it. I can understand.
I understand everyone's thinking behind it. I understand it, but I don't see it.
I don't see it.
No. So this is a difficult one. So what are we landing on? Zirkzee? Because we need to pick a team. I
think Zirkzee gets in purely by the fact that there's nobody else.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
That's the only I agree on that, and I basically pick a 4-4-2 with Zirkzee up front with Sesko, or 4-1-1.
That's the only reason he gets in.
Yeah, there will be something like this, but Cunha will be all over the place. Zirkzee will be all over the place.
Oh, that's why. That's when we're talking about principles. So this is what I was trying to explain. You've just literally done it. If you move Zirkzee like one line to the side and Cunha inverts, it's 4-3-2-1. Well, that is our formation.
Well, yeah.
People say it's a 5, but we keep saying, Stu, it's not, is it? One wing goes and the rest invert.
Never. I just can't
our attacking formation.
I just can't see any other option for him.
And I think Zirkzee plays up top and Sesko drops in because Sesko.
I think Zirkzee.
Okay.
And Sesko plays a 10. Yeah.
But Jack Fletcher, he gives us energy at least. Someone who can run, press, and do something. Zirkzee. For me, he looks lazy. He looks out of shape. He doesn't look bothered. He was very poor on the cameo, but I think he's been this way all the time. He's not that type of high energy player that this Amorim system needs. He doesn't fit the system at all. He's a misfit in this.
Why don't you quickly put a poll in then? Let's see what the chat thinks. Okay. Like who they think will start. Zirkzee. I don't know, Fletcher, Lacey, or other. Just to see what the chat thinks, because generally we can pick 10 out of 11 players, and we're guessing on the final bit of the jigsaw.
Well, we just got one issue. We've got one problem, haven't we?
Yeah, let's play Brian Deere up top. He's going to do more running around Zirkzee, you know I don't like Zirkzee, and
The
you know
other
I don't
issue-
like a lot of our attackers. But Sesko is showing me something at the moment, and I can appreciate that. He's starting to show me legs.
The other issue you've got is if you take Zirkzee out of the team and you put in Fletcher, you've got one less. And I'm not saying here that Zirkzee is a goal threat, but he's a bigger goal threat than Fletcher. We don't
You've got
have
to mark him.
We've
Got to mark him,
no
especially on those long
goals.
throws.
We've got no goals in there. 0 goals. So we've got
So if
to
you
do
brought in Fletcher, you're playing 3 holding midfielders.
Yeah,
Fletcher is a Michael Carragher-esque, plays like his dad. Both of them do. They pass the ball around. They tick.
Fantastic footballer, but probably not.
Oh, but guys, I have one more option. Just caught my mind by looking at it. We have Malaysia on the bench. Could we and should we try Dorgu in the right 10 and play with Dallo in Dorgu's role and Malaysia on the right back?
He's played as a right forward, so it could work, but he plays. He squares up. No, I know what you're saying. So when at Lecce, in the positions he was, and when you say they played him sort of an inverted winger, so therefore he would tuck inside. But this is the Premier League. But Wolves are shit. Like you can get behind their wing backs because obviously they play 3 at the back, and that's how we beat them last time. We got in those flanks, but he showed that he could step in, but he squares up. Stu, you'd find it easy to defend against him because he'll always have either his whole back against you or his whole front facing you. He won't ever be sideways on.
I would, and it isn't a bad shout, actually. But if you're going to do that, Jarvis, I wouldn't put Malaysia in.
Okay.
I would bring in. No, I would then shore up the middle.
Bring Euro in, don't you?
And probably bring Euro in.
Yeah.
Euro.
Yeah. I'd probably bring Euro in and push Dallo up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah. That's what I would do. Look, it's really interesting. Yeah, you could do this all night with this. I considered Dorgu as a 10, but he demonstrated his ability. We know that in the final.
Yeah, because he inverted a lot. He was very active in I would say this space.
He did.
This is the number 10 space.
Yeah,
because every time he was on the ball, he inverted. He went inside.
But they didn't follow him. They held their shape, and that. But in the second half,
well, we didn't see anything.
In the second half, once he scored, they went man for man, and
we didn't say anything, did we?
And we kept the ball, but we didn't. He didn't penetrate in behind. You'll notice that they shut the passing lanes off really by going man for man. There was no passing lanes.
It's not the worst shout, Jarvis. Dorgu as a 10. Not the worst shout at all, mate. To be honest,
I'd probably say Dallo is a fucking 10 because he plays that high up. If you're playing in wing back,
Dallo's miss was criminal. That ball from Martinez, which we've seen before, by the way, and Dallo's miss was absolutely fucking criminal.
How slow motion was it as well? So just slot it left or right or chip it over the top of him.
Absolutely criminal, but I don't think he will. I think, unfortunately, gents, I think Zirkzee will start because I think he's got 0 options. Although I would send that to Amorim tonight, Jarvis, and say, look, consider Dorgu as a wide 10. Really interesting, that, mate. Really interesting.
I made a poll, guys. I want to know what you're saying. We have 17 votes in so far, but get your vote in. Lacey is on 53%, by the way, and Zirkzee is on 41%. Only 6% of you want Fletcher, and 0% of you like the Malaysia idea.
What we basing Shay Lacey on, though, at 51%. There's no denying.
That's what the club is about. Who was going to give, let's say, a player like Janusaj the chance? Suddenly David Moyes chucked him in, and it worked.
I get that, but my point is, as you started at the top of the show, Jarvis, we could be joint 4th by the end of tomorrow night. We can't. These are games where we can't dick about. Play them at Brighton. in the FA Cup. I'd go for that. No problem. No problem. Play him there at the FA Cup and see what we've got. Because Brighton are a physical side. But I don't know. Just a question.
Yeah.
Just a question.
And I'm just going to pose this to everyone, and this is a take. And Stu knows I watch a lot of the youth at United, and obviously I'm involved in youth. That step up is such a big gap.
It's enormous.
It's such a big gap, and Shay Lacey has been a talent, but he's also had a lot of injury problems. So he's actually behind in his development. Okay. There are other players. I would probably, and I'm quite surprised, Montano isn't in front of Shay Lacey because Lacey got injured, he stepped up and he kept pushing. And he actually went into the under-21s before Shay Lacey stepped up to the under-21s. And there's other players out there who are more physically ready, bigger build. That's what I'm talking about here for the Premier League. Now, I'm not saying a small player can't play because everyone goes, oh, yeah, but what about Lionel Messi? He's 5'4" and he bounces off. He's also like one of the best in the world. But when was the last time, apart from the class of 92, that we were talking year on year about youth products being actually starting and playing for Manchester United? Because we always have them in our ranks. Most of them don't come through. The manager is giving these guys a shot. But I don't think it's through wanting to. I think it's through necessity.
It's not right just yet. Shay Lacey isn't right just yet. I'm not saying he's not going to be right come the final third of the season. If he stays in and around the team and he comes on, he scores a goal, whatever. But I don't think he'll risk him.
No.
Unfortunately. I just don't think
he is a quality player. And this is not a disrespect on him as a player because I've been shouting Shay Lacey should be there. And again, we started talking about the media. The media hyped him up. Look at Shay Lacey training with the England squad from the under-21. Shay Lacey doing this. Shay Lacey hasn't done hardly anything for the under-21s or 18s compared to people like Bayern Carey, JJ Gabriel, currently, Obi, Toney. There's so many other names.
Baby's a great example, right? Scoring for fun in the 18s. We played him 3 or 4 times, and he had to take him out.
And now he's struggling for the 21s, and he is struggling. The manager didn't lie about that.
No,
he might have posted a picture of him, but he's not scoring at 3 goals a game average, which like JJ Gabriel's doing right now. And Obi did that. So JJ Gabriel's just as good as Obi. But as you step up, and you stop playing against other 15, 16-year-olds in under-18 football because that's what they play against. Yeah. And they start playing 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds physically. Actually, everyone's been down the gym for the last 4 years. Then you step into the Premier League and you're like, fuck me, he's a bit big.
I don't think he'll risk it. I don't think he'll risk it. I think if you're going to play him, give him a shot at Brighton. Got no problem with it. I love the FA Cup, but it's not a priority for us this season. I love the FA Cup, I really do. So I would give him a stab there personally.
But the thing is, I think we need to not go for the FA Cup because of where our players are at the moment. I want to go deep into it. I think we really need to probably win it this season to keep.
We've got another 3 weeks, haven't we? Yeah, we've got another 3 weeks of the African Cup of Nations. I know Ahmad and Bumo drew, didn't they? 2-2 yesterday or something like that. Didn't Ahmad score?
Yeah, both got man of the match, and Ahmad
scored. Yeah,
he's
brilliant
twice,
goal.
or once or twice or something like that. So they're going to go deep into the tournament, so we're not going to see them back. We've got a break.
All three, because Morocco are likely to go final, so they've got a nice easy draw.
So we've got a week, a winter break, haven't we, for a week? And I don't know when our winter break comes in. So I know we've got a winter break in January.
But we're not likely to see Bruno till mid-January, and that's at a rush.
I'd say the end of January for Bruno. So
yeah, I agree. But if
luckily,
manager said he's asking to train now, so he thinks he's okay to train. So if he's got that kind of mentality, again, poor captain, so he needs to be held back.
Just
and the manager's had to say that. Mainu should be playing in the FA Cup. Mount obviously has taken a knock, so you've got a risk going. do you know what? We might have to play the kids in the FA Cup because we might have to rest
I
these
would.
players.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do. If we are problematic like we are now, then I would bring in the kids. I'd let Gabriel have his shot, let Kai Rooney have his shot. 15, 16-year-olds, let them have a go.
Yeah, at least get them on the thing, on the bench.
It wouldn't matter to me. Give Obi a shot. Give them all their shot. I don't care.
No.
But we've got to be very, very careful. I'm fascinated to see come 7 o'clock or 10 to 7 tomorrow night, what that starting 11 will be and how close we are. Because it really is fucking impossible to pick. So he might look at it. He might look at it with his coaches, guys, and say, I've got 11 players. We need to design a formation around these 11 footballers. And Zirkzee could well be in it. However, Shay Lacey could be in it. Jack Fletcher could be in it.
I think a 5-4-1 is the most logical formation we could play.
Which basically is a 4-4-2, but defending in a 5-4-1. I totally agree. 100% agree. But the personnel, I mean, the old Jarvis might get a call up tomorrow. Can you come and do the chop for us?
Yeah, obviously, I will be there. I will do my best.
But the problem is that he is on absolute threads as a manager, and nobody else is facing this issue apart from Sunderland. Sunderland had 6 players. They got a draw, didn't they? I believe. But there's 6 players in the African Cup of Nations. 6 players, and they're remaining unbeaten. Leeds. I tell you what, Leeds could go anywhere at the moment. Anywhere. They've come from nowhere to be a reasonable outfit at the moment. Calvert-Lewin is just wow. He is. Talk about a honeymoon period for him. Really interesting. Really.
Well, it's also had the right games come at the right time. That plays a big part in it, doesn't it? We get past this and we've got a nice run of games. Not.
No, we haven't. Oh, yes.
Yes, we can't forget about this super chat. Thank you so much, Bilal, coming in. Thank you so much for the brilliant donation, coming in with a £2 super chat saying, have you seen training videos? Euro has a big afro hair right now.
I haven't.
Yes. But we always have those tight what do you call it, dreads or
dreadlocks.
braids?
Dreadlocks.
Yeah,
braids.
Yeah, braids.
He's probably just let it out to brushed it out, and then was probably getting it done after that. That's because that's normally how it works.
Yeah,
so
absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
But thank you so much.
That, we're going to have 2 Zirkzees. Bring back Fellaini as well.
Well, yeah. I mean,
we could do with him. We could do with him in this formation currently. A midfielder.
Fellaini do us. Lukaku, he would do us a world of good as well.
Rasmus Højlund, 6 goals in 12 games.
And it also comes in with the fancier shaves too.
I will do. I just haven't had a chance, but I will do.
It's Christmas. I'm currently working on a big stash. It's not looking good at all.
I need a shave, so
not looking good. Not looking good. Not looking good.
To be honest, I think that probably moves you quite nicely on, Jarvis, with the other bits you wanted to cover. From if we're struggling with formation, I just want to end with a poll to see where you guys are at, and 58% of you have voted for Zirkzee and Shay Lacey on 35%. So according to you guys, we will land on Zirkzee, and that will be the starting 11 and the prediction from us.
It's a common sense choice, isn't it? But I think it'd be fucking great. He drops Dallo and puts Fredrickson in, drops Zirkzee in, pops in Tyler Fletcher, drops Zirkzee and puts Lacey in. Why not?
But just to cover it as the last thing, what Shu did allude to, if there was a contract signed, there's a chance that he doesn't play again till he leaves, because that could be in the contract. We don't sign a contract and he comes on loan to us, but he picks up an injury the day or the week before. Most players don't. They don't play that week. So
Rob Duff, absolutely no expert whatsoever on Afro. Not an expert whatsoever. You must be joking.
Guys, I wanna look at the table where we are at the moment. We are sitting on 29 points. We are sitting sixth in the table. There's only 3 points up to we are equal with Chelsea, who sits fifth. So fifth place will automatically give you Champions League next season, most likely. And we are in there, and I see Sunderland, Brentford, Fulham, Palace. I don't see any of them being up there at the end of the season. So, it's all about Chelsea right now for us. And my question to you guys is, if we win tomorrow, we will be on 32 points halfway through the season. And how do you rate the season so far, from 1 to 10? And why do you rate it? Is it results, performance? Is it the entertainment value? Is it the manager? Is it anything that caught your mind? Let's do like
I was thinking
sum
about this
up
way
of
home.
the season so far and the state of Man United.
Stu, do you want to go first, or do you want to go first? Because I've actually been thinking about this.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So I've listened to a few people they're doing the mid-season reviews and things like that. Rate the manager, rate the club. And I'm like, well, what I'm going to do is, where did we finish last year? We finished in 15th. Did anyone see Rúben Amorim taking us from 15th to 6th at Christmas? If we draw the line now, say that Christmas is gone, we're 6th at Christmas. That is overachieving from 15th to there, right? Because according to everyone, at the end of last season, the manager's shit. Get rid of the manager. Doesn't know what he's doing, and the reason we're down there is because we can't win games. And I was like, well, if you're doing out of 10, 5 is where you expect to be, right? That's what 5 is. The manager's just doing his job. He's not doing bad. He's not doing good. 5 is, I've turned up and I'm doing my job. So I've seen people saying 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10, and then people saying that's overrated. Well, if you finish 15th and you're 6th halfway through the season, you're massively overachieving, because we've lost players. We're not scoring tons of goals. We're conceding goals. And basically, we've gone back to 90s football going, we'll score one more than you. And that's why we're +4 goal difference and in 6th. So I think we are doing as I thought. We're on track to hit my 69 points. Good old-fashioned 69. And I thought top 6. Top 8 to top 6. I didn't think Champions League. So we're bang where I think we have a squad capable of. We're definitely going the hard way around getting there. The manager has openly admitted that, like the Newcastle, he looked at what they done last year, how we lost that game, and he changed things depending on that. He's starting to look like he's changing, and we've got to judge the season on our eyes and not the media, because the media, as we said, is going to spin their narrative so they win either way. Okay, so I think we are a solid 6.5, 7 out of 10 for the season so far. I'm more than happy. I'm not happy with Sesko. I'm not happy with Zirkzee, but I'm happy with the team, because the team's getting the job done. Whether we're going the hardest way and we're all sitting on the edge of our seats in the Newcastle game going, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what? Can we blow that whistle because our average age of our team's about 12? What's going on? But he got it right, didn't he? So he got it wrong at Grimsby. He's learned. He's got it wrong badly in certain games.
Yeah.
But is that the player, or is that the manager making the change and the player doesn't want to run when he's on the pitch? Because Stu, you alluded to it, and I think the last game is the best way to sum up our season. These players seem to be fighting for their place and fighting for the badge in that Newcastle, because they didn't give up for 90 minutes. And we've been seeing that for 45, and then they're running out of steam. And okay, I slowly get, is this what he means? He's getting the principles. My principles: run that way, run twice as fast back the other way. It's one of my basic principles of football. However hard you attack, defend twice as hard. So I think we're changing. And I think I'm realistic in the fact it's not an overnight job. It's a 2-3 season job. And I'm happy with where we are. Overall, I'm happy because I did not think we'd be where we are now. We could be top 4 if we win and the other results go our way. We could be top 4 at the end of the season. And that's one place inside the Champions League spaces because we'll probably still get 5 spaces again this year.
Yeah, we will get 5. Yeah, guaranteed.
So I did not expect that. So we are going. And then, do you know what? That drop off, Jarvis, you just said it. All those teams, they're going to drop away. And Newcastle and that can't be staying down there. But this is the Premier League. People kept saying we were going to come back up the table. Tottenham were going to come back up the table. And we couldn't because the other teams are strong enough to keep us down there. Okay. So we're overachieving. 6.5, 7 out of 10. I know it's a long-winded way of saying it, but there's a lot of positives there. But you really do need to just call it as it is. Do you know what I mean? Call it game on game and going, do you know what? We can't just be there by fluke.
I'm making a poll. How do you rate us halfway through 1 to 10? But I can only put in 4 options. So the options got to be, let's say 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7. So you guys can get your votes in.
So did you just say 6, 7?
Yeah. 6, 7. Yeah.
6, 7.
Jarvis, learn media nowadays. It's 6, 8. You cannot say the out middle one.
What do I think? I think that this is where I expected us to be. And Jarvis will tell you guys that I made it very, very clear in the summer that Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Brighton would not have the same seasons as they had last year, and that would give us 4 places to fight for. And we are demonstrating that at this point in time, whereas clubs are dropping points, and we're dropping points, we're not dropping points at an alarming rate. Although we're not playing particularly well, and although we've got issues, and Amorim is still finding his way in the Premier League, this is kind of where I thought we would be. I said we'd end up on 66, and I still think we'll get in and around 66. Whether that takes us to Champions League football or not, I don't know. If we kick on in January, if we go ahead and we make these kind of transactions with certain players, and we're able to kick on and we strengthen the squad no end in January, then we should finish in and around the top 6. If nobody believes that's good enough, then that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but football isn't as easy, as we all know, because we all play, as people think. There are times in a game where one mistake is critical. There are times in a game when one mistake matters not. That's how football is. There are times in a game where you miss an absolute sitter, Diogo Dalot, on Friday night. We could have won the game 2-0. It would have been a lot easier for us. You know, there are certain games we should have won this season, and we haven't. So it's worth noting that Arsenal are only on 42 points. They've dropped points. City have dropped points. Liverpool have dropped points. Everybody has dropped points. The only real form team at this point in time is Villa, because I think they're unbeaten in 11 games or something along those lines. So they're the only real form. Yeah, so 11 straight wins. So they're the only real form team. So ultimately, okay, when you go from 15th to 6 is where we are today, that is an improvement. It doesn't matter what you say, it's an improvement, because we finished 15th. We were always around 12th, 11th, but we were never, ever in and around 6th.
Come back to that.
Yeah, and we are now. So that is an improvement. But ultimately, as we go, if you can capitalise from teams dropping points, then you are going to climb the league. And we have capitalised on teams dropping points. By getting a draw here and there, it's actually kept us within the mix. So there's 20 games to go, or something along those lines. There's a lot of points up for grabs. 28 games, a lot of points up for grabs. I'm not saying we'll end up in Champions League football, but I don't think we'll finish. I think Danny B's right. That I think the lowest we'll finish is 8th. I think the highest we'll finish is 5th. So we're going to finish in between that period. Jarvis, you said, was it 10th or was it 8th?
I said 55 points, but you know, we are right now on we averaging 1.61 a game.
Yeah, but
so we are on a trajectory to 61 points right now.
Yeah,
as we are standing.
So we're just all in the middle, aren't we? We're kind of all in the middle of where we are.
We are. Yeah. But just to put things in perspective, I want to show you this. This is the Premier League table from last season, how it ended. So if you look at this, on 61 points, you have Brighton in 8th place. Yeah. So if we end up on 61 points, we might even drop out of Europe next season.
Jarvis, before you go any further, I said 69, and that's 4th. So that shows how close that was. How close is that European space?
I don't think 60. I think 61 this year, Jarvis, will take you higher than 8th. I don't think it'll be 8th this year. 61. I think it'll take you higher. It's a good because you've got.
Yeah, but you know, it's just to put things in perspective, and through a full season, I think things.
No, you're right. You're right. But you had the anomalies, didn't you? You had your Brightons, your Bournemouth, your Brentfords, and your Forest. You had your kind of anomalies in a Newcastle, that type of thing. So, but look, be really interesting. I'm going to go 7 as well. I think 7's a fair score. I think anything below is up to everybody and their opinion. But I won't be too harsh on where we are.
No, that's Jarvis, fair. You know, that's
before
fair.
You do yours, can we go back to that comment that came in about the 14? We deserve better. The 14 months.
This one?
No. 14 wins, 14 months.
This one.
See, now this is quite. We've probably spoken about this a lot because inadvertently, 14 wins in 14 months. How many games have we drawn and lost that we should have won? Now and that's where we're saying about this learning curve in the Premier League, right? Because we shouldn't have beaten Newcastle and we won it. So now it's starting to go the other way because last season we lose that 5-1. Do you know what I mean? It's horrendous. Mismanagement of Kobe Mainoo. Well, I tell you what, if we're winning games, no one's talking about Kobe Mainoo not playing. Yeah. So it's because of where we are in the games. It's the only reason Kobe Mainoo's being spoken about not playing. But if Bruno goes, Mainoo's straight in there. He knows the role. Yeah. So there's a benefit to sitting on the bench and biding your time. 36 games to finally win back-to-back games. But that's not on the manager. That's not on the manager at all because we throw games away because we just run out of steam. That's on the players, you know. Bruno in the 8, yeah, and his stats have gone through the roof, apparently, if you believe in all those stats. So he's actually performing better in an 8th than he did in the 10 last season. You know, so yeah, you could go on, but we could also say we got a better goalkeeper. That's an improvement. Our defenders, these young defenders coming through from all the injuries, that's an improvement. Sesko isn't an improvement physically to look at on Rasmus Højlund, but the way he's interacting with the team, that's an improvement. And then these little improvements, I don't want to be the 1% guy, but where he does have a point about the 1% starts adding up. And I'll tell you what, we're slowly moving forward. So all these mistakes get tweaked every week in, week out in that training. And it's about the finishing line, isn't it? It's about where we are in April, May going forward. And if we've been so bad in all this mismanagement, it can't just be luck that we're in 6th. And someone said we should be higher. We could be top. We could be 2nd or 1st if we didn't throw away points. Because Stu, as you alluded to, everyone else has dropped points apart from Aston Villa recently in the last 10 games.
Yeah, they are.
Mm.
Yeah, they are.
So
And if my grandma had wheels, she would be a bike. That's just the way it is.
So,
We'll keep
stop
happening.
looking at what could have been. We're sixth.
Yeah.
And we're
I
fourth.
think we are where we
Results are in our
should
favour
be.
next week.
I think we are where we should be. I think us sitting on 29 points after 18. Is it 18 games?
18 games.
I think that's actually where we are at the moment. And it comes down to the quality. You know, we can say we should have won. You know, and I could see, you know, for me to give a grade on Amorim and Man United at the current stage after half of the season played, I would say, if you go by the chat, we have 37% who rates Amorim and United to a 4 out of 10, and 33% says 6 to 7. So, you know, it's between those two. So I would say maybe a 5 from me is where I think we are at the moment. But I know it's a work in progress. And as someone mentioned in the chat, Amorim, you know, his in-game management is not good. You know, I see a lot of things that we could have done differently, but I don't know. I'm not in Amorim's head, so I don't know what Amorim's thinking of. You know, he's working on a plan. Apparently, he's working on a plan. I'm not 100% sure that Ineos and Amorim is pulling in the same direction.
No,
and it worries me a little.
Yeah.
It worries me a little bit because I see, you know, we all see the small hints in the press conferences, and we see now, we could see, you know, Amorim, you know, talking about maybe we should wait, maybe we shouldn't sign a player in January and all of this. You know, if we were a serious club and we were serious about trying to qualify for the Champions League, we would definitely sign at least 2 players in January. That's just the way it is.
We've been talking about it. You can't sign anyone in the summer because it's going to be July through to mid-June for the World Cup alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
but the thing is, I'm not grading Amorim. I'm grading Man United at the moment, and the current state doesn't deserve more than a 5 from me. By the way I look at it, and you know, us coming into about plus minus 60 points, that will most likely give us Europe next season, Europa League or Conference League, but not Champions League. And that's a little bit worrying because I don't see us signing the players we want. I don't see us getting Elliot Anderson and all of these big name players, Wharton and all of these players we've been linked to, if we are not in the Champions League, because I think players at that stature, at the top shelf, they want Champions League, and I that's just the way it is. So again, I think it will prolong the process, and I think it will take more years than Amorim has time to, you know. And I think eventually he will be dropped because we are not going in the direction he wants. He's not getting his signings. So my next question to you guys, and before we go to the Q&A, it will be the last question of the evening, is how should we go forward with our transfers? You know, what would be the sensible way, and what's our strategy now? Are we going for 1 midfielder in January? Are we going for 2? Are we looking at the left wing back? Are we looking at the defender? Are we looking at an extra striker? Because, you know, there are a lot of holes to plug in this Man United team, and we know our squad, it's terrible. So you know, if you sat in the boardroom of Ineos and Glazers, how would you put that long-term strategy, not just January, but in the summer and maybe next summer? How would you go forward with it? Because, you know, for me, I think it's tough to say. We don't know the financial situation. We know that our debt still is as big as it was before they came in. We're not doing anything. We are using the credit card more and more, but we are fairly on point with the PSR rules, and there are money to be spent. You know, we try to buy Gallagher, we try to buy Baleba, so we know there's money out there. So
for me, it would be a midfielder and a striker, January, and a midfielder that I can use as a squad player, stroke starting 11 when necessary. But it'd be a solid midfield player, whether that's Rúben Neves, whether that's Conor Gallagher, whether that's Carlos Baleba. I don't know. It's a midfielder that we do. And then come come the summer, it's a centre back, 2 midfielders and a striker. So those are my 6 options for January and the summer. Serious Football Club would do that, and it's not difficult to do that because Jadon Sancho will be off our wage bill. We won't renew his contract. That's straightforward. We all know Bruno's going to go in the summer. I think that's pretty much a given. I think Casemiro might go in the summer, and I think we might be able to remove likes of Diego Dallo and other players off our books. And I think we're okay PSR wise, by all accounts. Anyway, we could go and afford 100 million in January quite comfortably. But you must get the right players. So if we get a Neves in or we get Conor Gallagher in, I've got no issues with either of those two. I think we've got to be looking at, for me, Anderson. I think Elliot Anderson is the player we must get in the summer. And but we must get a centre half. I've said before, if Gay is available, I would go for Gay. If not, Anderson at Fulham. Got no problems with either of those two. But we need a forward. We need a centre forward who's going to guarantee us goals. We can't keep dicking about by getting likes of Sesko, Hoyland, or whoever who's not going to score goals for us. We've got to go out and we've got to find a striker who is going to get us 20 goals. That is absolutely criminal. And then other areas you would try and do, if you can, is the fullbacks or the wing backs. But for me, January, striker, midfielder, summer, centre half, midfielder, 2, and another striker. And those would be my 6.
Mark?
Well, I think, Stu, the only thing you didn't replace was 2 of the 10s and a goalkeeper there. So
yeah, I think I'm all right with Mbeumo and Cunha. I'm quite happy with those 2. And I think Lamans is going to do... yes, I probably would take Vlahovic if we could get him in January because I think he'd do what we need in front of goal. I like Vlahovic. I've liked him for a while, and I think he would do it. We didn't get
an option to buy because he could be quite easily hit or miss because he has been hit or miss for Juventus.
He can be hit and miss, but when he's on form, he's decent. There's other players out there, you know. Jarvis mentioned Soloth. People will laugh at bringing Soloth in, but the guy scores goals.
He would be no brainer to get Soloth in. Yeah,
he scores goals. It's just one of those.
Yeah,
I think Sesko Barman. I think Sesko will come good, but at this point in time, he's not scoring. We've got to find a goal scorer. We need a goal scorer. Look, I didn't want Sesko anyway. I'm on my record as saying it. I would have gone for Osherman all day long. I think Osherman would have been the better buy for us, but we didn't get him, and that's just the way. But I think Sesko will come good. I just don't know on what time scale we've got for him to come good. If we get European football, or we even make an attempt at Champions League, which I don't think we will, but you never know.
Yeah, but the funny thing with the striker now is so easy. Look at Calvert-Lewin now. He's in the purple patch. So you know, if Sesko had scored that goal against Newcastle when he hit the post,
good strike.
That could be it. You know, that could be the defining moment, the moment where everything changed. Because playing as a striker is very instinctive. You know, you have to just have the confidence. You have to have the right feeling when you hit the ball, and you know, suddenly everything clicks. So I have patience for Sesko. I think he's good enough, and I'm happy with him so far.
Yeah. But I think goals. We need goals.
Yeah. But you know, this is why I asked this question about the transfer strategy, because Rúben now comes out and say if we need to suffer some moments, we are going to suffer to try to be 2 steps ahead, maybe in the summer. It's a really tough market in January, so we'll see. You know, this is almost like Ferguson. You know, there's no value in the market. The comments that he came out with in his last couple of years all the time, and you know, I think we all know where we are heading right now. I can't see us. There will be a slow January transfer window.
See, I disagree because I think it's nigh impossible to buy players this summer. with the World
It's
Cup.
going to be really difficult. Yeah, really
So
difficult.
unless you're tapping up players and doing it pre-World Cup, pre-end of the league, yeah, which is illegal. You're not allowed to do it. It's against the rules. Because literally we will finish the season. Let's just say, for instance, Arsenal are in the Champions League final, which will be the last played game. 2 weeks later, the World Cup starts. So there's a 2-week window where you can actually talk to the players who are away on international duty, because you want top players with their clubs going to the biggest World Cup there has been, which lasts 2 weeks longer than it ever has done before. And then they go on holiday, and then they come back with 1 week's pre-season training. It's going to be so hard to get to do it. So in my football brain, I'm going spend 100, 200, 300 million in January. Be the biggest January transfer window you ever see, because I know I can't get hold of these players. I sign a Gahey for 20 million because I know I can, in 6 months, I can talk to him for nothing. So you go, I'll give you 20 million. You let us have him now. You get 20 million for him. Otherwise, we'll talk to him and take him in the summer for nothing, with every other team going in for him, including international teams, abroad. But Anderson Walton transforms our midfield. 200 million. Fucking pay it. Pay it. The problem is, the real world, we don't have that money to burn just like that. We'll try and spread it out. But the PSR obviously changes on 31st of June.
Something like that. Yeah.
July, whichever.
Yeah, it changes.
So it's where it falls into the PSR. But this new SRM or whatever it is, the new one, where we will be done on our having money for days because of how much we make, that will change everything. But I've already said you're loaning Gallagher, and I think you're allowed to loan him one other player. I think you're allowed 2 loans, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So Vlahovic, someone like that as a striker, Stu, I'm 100%. I don't hate Zirkzee. I don't hate Sesko. They're not strikers. They're more 10s than they are a goal scorer, because they're still not getting in the box. But we're still not creating chances in the box. So that's why I don't agree with those new Bruno stats, because I don't know who he's creating chances for. Gallagher in as a holding midfielder makes perfect sense. We spoke about it. Someone who can dovetail with Casemiro, our player of the season at the moment, because without him, we ain't winning any of these games, because he's literally almost won the games for us single-handedly with goals and defensive contributions. But then, like you say, then we can't just go by a Belieber or an Elliot Anderson who play in that 8 role, because we're not dropping Bruno. So they're not going to get game time going into the World Cup. They're not going to sacrifice that. So you have to do the hardest deal there is to do. Yeah, you sign for us now, but you come in the summer.
Yeah, he won't move, Anderson, not until the summer.
No, but you know what I mean? So you come to us now, but you're not. Well, who plays in my position? Bruno. Yeah, and he's also club captain. So that's a really hard deal to do. And Casemiro's playing out of his skin and one of the best holding midfielders in the league, stats-wise, currently. For minutes played and everything that he's doing, he's up the top. He's literally gone back to a Real Madrid because of these tweaks in the defence and how they're playing football with him. Half turn, get the ball, give it to someone else. And Stu, that's what you said. All he ever did: get the ball, give it to Kroos. Get the ball, give it to Modric. Now it's get the ball, give it to Bruno.
Yeah, that's all he ever did.
So he's just doing that. So it's really hard, and we can give all these names, but you've either got to go spend it, and it's a real gamble.
We don't want to spend. That's the way the issue lies at the moment. We don't want to spend. I think we are determined to get control on the financials before we start spending again. We are looking at a loan deal for Gallagher. We don't want to pay up. We are looking at Rúben Neves for a cheap price, maybe 15 million.
Don't mind those.
We are looking at João Gomez, even though we haven't heard much. We will see him tomorrow when he plays for Wolves. But on Wolves, they need to start saving money and
20 million on Rúben Neves is a great deal. If that's
it's
20,
a good
30 million, it's a great deal. It's a steal because he's Premier League proven and he's heads and tails above Joel Gomez.
Yeah,
You know, in that role.
I agree. And also we've been linked to that Toney. I think it's Manu Toney, the guy who plays midfield for Roma.
We have,
And,
yes.
and he's only 25 millions. We could easily just swap
But
him
it's
with
35 million for, you know, my favourite Edison from Atalanta. But do we want to risk? Third time lucky getting a player from Atalanta. So
Brozovic back from Saudi Arabia.
But you've also, what I'm trying to get at is 100 million now is probably 120 to 150 million if they have a good World Cup.
Yeah.
So because it's a longer World Cup, there's more exposure. These prices are going to shoot up.
Anderson won't get done. He'll get done before the World Cup, guaranteed.
But do you see what I'm trying to say, though, Stu? Like, why we can't wait? And because then when the season starts, we're going to have to start the season later.
Yeah.
Like, I'm guessing the Premier League's going to start the season later and no winter break next year because you've got fixture congestion. They have to do something to get the rest in. All of that has this knock-on effect, and it's like you buy the players, we still might have a shit season because we've got no time to integrate them into a system. So it's the worst transfer window we could have, January and the summer. The next two are literally horrendous for Rúben Amorim because he can't win. We can't win as fans because we know who we want. Maybe we've even got the money in the pocket to go and do the deal. But there's a World Cup going, ooh, I might just hang on because I want to make sure I get my role. I'm a big fish in a small pond. If I step up to them, I might fall off. You know?
Yeah. It's always a worry for players. And we know the World Cup is something else. But guys, it's been a brilliant show so far. Interesting debates. And, you know, all the comments from you guys, the legends, who are the heart and soul in this channel. But we are 1 hour 35 minutes into the show, so I think it's time for the Q&A. So let me play the jingle, and guys, get your questions in. We can talk about everything. Ask us anything. So let's do the Q&A. Yes, Stu.
Yes. Get your questions in, everybody. Come on. We don't have many questions, actually. It's been we've only got, let's have a quick look. We've only got...
I think we have two
questions.
We've actually missed questions in the chat.
Unless you scroll back. Yeah, so if you have asked a question, resend them and Jarvis will star them. Let's see what we've got anyway. We've got a couple from I Am Titanium, and he says, if you could make a football-related movie, what would be the plot? Very interesting. Very interesting.
Could I go first?
Jarvis, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
I would do the Star Wars football thing, and the evil empire would be the Glazers, and Joe Glazer would be like Darth Vader or something, and we would have one guy coming up from our own ranks. Maybe it could be, let's say, Kobe Manu or someone, the local lads coming in and be the chosen one who will fight and bring down the empire. Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Mark, what would you do?
Mine would be like Money Heist. And you can see where I'm going with that straight away.
Yes.
The biggest heist of the century.
Yes.
So how to infiltrate, you know, one of the richest clubs in the world and bleed them from the inside out.
Yeah, very good. Mine would be a football version of White Men Can't Jump. So you've got a skanky old guy who's got a football under his arm, and he walks around and he scams people and makes millions and millions.
Did you do a certain chop by any chance?
Yeah, doing a Jarvis chop. So mine would be a White Man Can't Jump, and a football version of that. I love that film, White Man Can't Jump. By the way.
It's a great film. Not the remake's horrendous, but the original.
The remake's horrendous. Yeah. Bilal, I hope that answers your question. Bilal says, my movie would involve the Nike 2002 cage football ad, but Cantona is a drug kingpin. Absolutely. You'll make a superb drug kingpin.
That would be
I
nice.
used to watch that on Blue.
Yes, the questions are flying in. Japinho 9074 says, would you get Ivan Toney on loan? Good question, that one. Good question. Yes.
I said get him before the season even started. Buy him, didn't I? Bring him back. So because as a cheap option when we were being linked with Sesko, I was like, I'd rather have Ivan Toney than the ones we were being linked with.
Okay.
Yeah, Jarvis.
I'm not sure about Ivan Toney. And I think well, I think as a footballer, he would be an asset for us. I think he could contribute into the squad, but I'm not sure about his attitude. I'm not sure. Maybe he will bring something else into the squad again, and is the type of players that I think we should stay away from. I think we are at the place now where we should have people who are, call them grounded in a way, who are normal people, not those superstar types with an attitude. I think we are trying to get rid of all of them, including Jadon Sancho. Today he came out on the news that this is the last of Jadon Sancho. We want to give him a new contract. So I'm glad that chapter is over.
It is. I'm torn with Toney because I agree with both of you. I think as a goal scorer, absolutely superb. But I think as a person, he's a twat. And I totally agree with you. He would, if people could buy a rocket ship, he would be that type of person. And that pisses me off. I don't like it. We had it with Memphis Depay. If he'd actually knuckled down and stopped dicking about with Rolls Royces, and he would have been a very, very good footballer. So, he's had his problems. Toney has good striker, but I'm with Jarvis. I'm with both of you. Yes and no. Doesn't help anybody, but that's my point. A great question, though. What else have we got? Okay, we have from Stephanie Griffiths. Great to see you, Steph.
Hey, big up, Stephanie.
Question: will anyone break 20 Premier League goals for this season? And if so, who? Jarvis, you can start with that one. Won't take long.
If any, it would be Bruno. If we could play him as a second striker in a 4-4-2 system, I think it would work. Maybe he would have gotten 20 goals. But what are we looking at? And Mbumo, maybe we could have a spotting.
He's on 5, isn't it? Mbumo at the minute, 5.
How many goals? 5. So 15. No, I don't. No, and not anyone. Maybe Mbumo, if any.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, so that's literally what I was just looking at. You got Mbumo currently on 6, Bruno on 5, Casemiro on 4. That's how good Casemiro's been. And I think up there on 5 is also own goal. So he's a great player, OJ. No, of course no one's in the United team's breaking 20 Premier League goals because we're actually sharing our goals around. So...
Yeah.
It would be a no from me as well on that one. Great question, though, Steph. 20 penalties. Great question. Jarvis, question for you from Danny B.
Big up, Danny.
He says, what do you think of Wolf at Wolves? They just signed him this year. He's previously played for AZ in Holland and had good numbers.
Yeah, I rate him. I think he's a good wing back. He's very offensive in his mindset. He likes to go attacking. He can run all day. Maybe he lacks a little bit of that X factor when it comes to quality, but he's decent. I've seen him play a lot of good games for the Norwegian national team, and I think he's good. But I don't see him as Man United level, and I don't feel that he's a player we should look at. But if he can improve and find another club now when Wolves goes down and still play at that left-sided wing-back role and develop, who knows in a couple of years, but not right now. But I rate him.
Jarvis, do you see him below or at the same level or above Dorgu?
I think he's above Dogu. I think so. At wing back role.
So therefore,
Not as-
he is Man United level then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I want to do
Do you
better.
see what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I think he's decent.
I do
I'm
rate
looking
him.
forward to seeing him tomorrow night, Jarvis, in the flesh. I'm looking forward to seeing
I'm
him
not sure
tomorrow.
if he's playing. Maybe he's injured. He wasn't in the
Oh,
predicted
he's
lineup
injured.
from.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I think you have that Bueno
In the
guy who's
doghouse.
back from injury, so he might play tomorrow.
I should be keeping an eye on Strand Larson if he plays Jarvis this time. I should promise you that. I should keep an eye on him.
Yeah. He's been terrible this season so
He
far.
has, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he wanted to go to Newcastle, didn't he? So
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
great question. We Deserve Better has come with a good question. This is with both of you two, and I'll let Mark go first, and Jarvis, I'll let you talk about this because you've actually mentioned this before. But We Deserve Better says, when did Man United become a YTS scheme for managers and their young coaches? Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting because let's wind the clocks back on a certain Alex Ferguson. He only had two jobs prior to coming to Man United,
He did.
and they were not in good leagues. Well, league, should I say. Obviously, he went and done an unbelievable thing and winning with Aberdeen. But football was different back then. I think what Amorim done with Sporting was pretty unheard of with how many players he changed and what he built. We brought him in, and then we wanted to sack him and we wanted to get rid of him. So I'm going to say we became a YTS club when the Bubsby Bays died, when we are someone who's always given managers a chance. So and young coaches a chance, because we've always had to rebuild, through our history. So do I think the coaches are too young? No. But do I think Jarvis, you will probably just start nodding away here. They need an experienced head with them coaching. Yes.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, if a manager's learning from his mistakes, he's learning and he's moving forward. And we're starting to see signs of that. You can believe what you want. We've covered this already tonight, so I'm not going to go on a tangent again. Same with the coaches. But an experienced head, I do believe, is needed. Will that come in at the end of this season? Maybe. Because even if it's a goalkeeping coach, even if it's just someone who's been around the Premier League as a one-off coach.
Yeah.
Jarvis?
YTS scheme, that's youth training scheme. And
training scheme, yes.
Yeah. So the thing is, we have had Ten Hag. He had zero experience from the Premier League. Now Amorim came in. Oli, okay, he did a half of a season for Cardiff or something before he got a sack. So he had a little bit of experience, but Oli did something clever. He brought a team with him, who knew the game. He had Terry Phelan on his side, and Carrick and McKenna. So in a way, I think we did Oli dirty because we put everything on Oli, but it was a team at that time. But we have had experienced coaches like Mourinho, like Van Gaal, like Moyes, and they didn't do really well, either of them. And so in a way, I think Man United could be a place to develop youth, young coaches. But as I said, we need to be clever when we do this and give them a base of experience. And Amorim, clearly he lacks Premier League experience. He's starting to learn now. We see him adapt a little bit better to games.
Yeah.
Put out different game plans based on the opposition we meet. He's not as stubborn and rigid in his 3-4-3 formation, and also he knows what he's up against. He's played against these teams and managers now a couple of times, so you're learning by doing and learning on the way. So in a way, now we are coming to a time where it will be interesting seeing Amorim, but I still think he lacks a lot when it comes to this in-game management, and even the subs, he made against Newcastle and Sting. He will still make a lot of mistakes, and it worries me a little bit. And I think in January we should go in and find a new coach for him, just someone who he could lean upon and help him a little bit. I don't know who's available, but anyone who's been around the game for 10, 15 years, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with both here. When Fergie came in, he'd had success at St Mirren, hadn't he? Success at Aberdeen, and then he comes to Manchester United. But before that, we had big Ron. So we have followed a similar trajectory in terms of high-profile managers and younger managers coming in. But I think Amorim does need a bit of help. I've said it before. You do need that experience, somebody who knows their way around the club and somebody who knows their way around the Premier League. However, if he guides us to 4th or 5th, he'll say he doesn't need anyone. So I think we'll just have to wait and see what happens at the end of the season. But good question. We deserve better, to be fair. Very, very good.
A good question. Yeah. Thank you.
Very quick yes or no. We all know Ratcliffe is so tight he wouldn't give you the steam off his urine. But do you think he'll release funds to strengthen in January? It's just a yes or no question, that one, Jarvis.
I think money is tight at the moment, and I think the big master plan is to get the financial part in place before doing anything. I think they are willing to throw the season under the bus a couple of times just to get the financial thing in place. Great shout, Steve McLaren. He would be a great shout to have someone like him.
He's just left Jamaica, hasn't he?
Yeah. Why not? Or Terry Phelan, or anyone who has a little bit of experience and knows the club.
Martin O'Neill shout.
Yes.
Yeah, Martin O'Neill, good shout. But
but I think that was illness in the family or something. He needed to step down. Something.
No. Celtic told him, "You're gone." Celtic told him he was the interim only, and look what's happened to Celtic since. Interesting.
Yeah, laughing at that. So my thing for this is two things, and I'll keep it quick. Ineos, major trouble as a pharmaceutical company, so he'll be edging his money and keeping it in the bank. Secondly, what he does can't be spent on transfers. It can only be spent on infrastructure. So what he pays in doesn't free up the cash because he's an investor. It doesn't go into the transfer kitty.
So I think we'll spend, but I think it'll be a small amount. But I think we'll spend. I did see his 18 billion deficit today, but to be honest, that's not too much. 2 hours, you mean?
Well, he's only got a 28 million billion personal wealth, hasn't he? So, and that's already taken a hit this year previously. So
So we've only got 2 questions to go. Last one is, we'll just do quickly Tyrone. Hi, Tyrone. Is everyone feeling overfed with turkey? Absolutely. I always do this year. I haven't played football for 2 weeks. It's killing me. Well, it feels like 2 weeks. It's killing me. Absolutely killing me. We don't do Boxing Day fixtures anymore at our age, unfortunately. So, a little bit and moving house and that. I can't wait for the new year. Jarvis?
Yeah, I'm in full since the 23rd. So
exactly.
I got to get back into shape now. So I'm overfed.
Mark?
I can't wait for boot camp to start. I think on the first Saturday of the month, so it's January. So we've got 3 boot camps a week. So that we do, me and the missus. So yeah, not looking forward to those first ones. Same as you, Stu. The first training session is a killer.
God.
I would actually say it's worse than the first pre-season training session.
Yeah. Oh yes. Right, last question of the night, gentlemen, and I'll hand you back to Jarvis after this question. And the question is, do you know if United Academy have a nutritional gym program? They all seem very flimsy. I'll start with this. They do. Absolutely, all football clubs have to have a nutritionist and a gym program for all their players. Whether our under-18s use them is a different story. Because I've said And Jarvis knows this for at least 2 years, 3 years, that our under-18s and our under-21s are physically weaker than most other players. They're very, very skillful. They're very good on the ball, comfortable in all areas, but they lack the physicality that you need in the Premier League. So there is that available to them, but I don't think they use it. Jarvis?
Well, you answered the first question, so I'm not sure what to say, but
A difficult one, isn't it?
it's one thing having a nutritional program, and a gym program. It's something else, following it through, and I don't know why, but it feels like a lot of these players work out on their own. We talked about this, gaining a lot of body mass, muscles in a short period of time without having the ligaments and the body, adapting to do your new heavy body. And also when it comes to the nutritional thing, I think we have been. I think now with the new Carrington, things looks better, but I still feel that we have a couple of steps before we are on the top ladder. You can see, for example, Inter and other Italian teams. They are super professional when it comes to everything. And I'm not sure why, but I think we can do things better too. But look at us when we came back from summer training. Everybody looked lean. Everybody looked fit.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
we are heading in the right direction, but I still think we can do better.
Yeah. Mark, for you to finish.
I sort of touched on this a bit earlier when we were talking about Shay, Lacey and that, about them being flimsy. Now, there's a reason for Obi scored so many goals, because he was so much stronger than other kids. He's knocking them off the ball. So that is actually the style. They build them slowly for explosion. It's all about the sprint speeds and fast position. That's why the game's so much slower. And if you don't want to build them up too quick, you don't want them big and bulky, because it slows their development. Scott McTominay was a prime example of this. 5 foot something, and then finishes 6'4", but didn't grow between 16 and 18. And then basically he just hit his growth spurt, and 6 months later he's training with United first team. I can't remember. It's in someone's book where they've literally covered it off. I think, it was a podcast he did. It was about his growth. He done a podcast, I think, with Steve. It might have been Steve McLaren and his son. Done one. And everyone has a nutritionist. They have their personal, they have their club one, they have a gym program. Jarvis, you're right, they train outside, but it's all about trying to look ripped for photos rather than actually what they need to do. And this is what we saw with Kobe Mainu, and we're going back 6 months. Jarvis, this is what you were talking about, how all of a sudden he seemed big in his shoulders and he was a little bit top heavy. Because the next thing you know, it's like, we're going to do sets, we're just going to do chest, we're going to do biceps, and they don't really focus on the full body, which you can't do over short term. You can isolate certain muscle groups, but it's what you're expecting. But what I would ask the question.
Gotta stop you, Mark. Jarvis has got 2 minutes to close the show up.
Oh, go on then.
Yeah, gotta shut the show. Great answer, though. Great answer.
Great answer, and very interesting, and I just want to thank everybody for the questions. I want to thank Rushmano for the 10 gifted tactical memberships. Big up, Rushmano. I want to thank Bilal for his donation, and all of you guys for coming in with your questions. Stephanie and Danny B, and We Deserve Better, and all of you guys. Tyrone.
Good questions tonight. Really
Thank you so much for tuning in. I see even Yala Malmin came in. You came in late, but good to see you, Yala. I hope you have had a great Christmas. And guys, if you haven't, I think we are on 49 likes. So if you haven't, please do us a favor and smash the like, so we at least reach 50 likes. Tomorrow night after the game, Stu and I will be back doing the match reaction.
Well, I'll be at the game.
You'll be at the game.
I'll be meeting Sean.
All right. So I will be doing the match reaction myself, or maybe Mark will be joining me. I'm not sure, but we will We
Yeah,
will see.
I'll be
We
at the
will
game.
see.
The whole family's going.
If you are around, Mark,
Yeah,
let me know.
I can jump on. You know, if she's going to just turn up at games. God, so,
Brilliant, brilliant. But
know.
Stu, I
and
want you
if
to
you
send
haven't
me.
seen who Sean bumped into today, check his YouTube.
I haven't said it yet, but no, me and Sean will do a brief thing, and we'll do something to camera, and we'll say hi. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, that would be brilliant. Guys, we need to end under 2 hours, so I just have
We
to
do.
press end the show. But thank you, everybody, for tuning
Hey,
in, and
guys.
we will see you on the next one.
Take care,
Bye-bye,
guys.
bye-bye.